THX 1138.
Oh, yeah.
The very first time. Try working with Robert Duvall and Donald Pleasance at the same time. And hold your own.
My son did a movie with Robert Duvall and Bill Murray and Sissy Spacek called Get Low. So I went on the set and I got, to know him pretty well. He pretty much does what he is, He's such a strong character in real life. He brings that right.
When I worked with, we should have a thing on.
I am recording. I just am hoping that Linda Harrison's voice is carrying to the camera.
Okay. He had just come from some award-winning play on Broadway and also had just done Mockingbird, where he played Bo, the albino fella that used to peek out through the window curtains, and everybody in town never saw the kid, but way after a while he came up. Well, he got some kind of award for his performance because he is what we call an organic actor. It comes way deep inside. Like the scene in THX, they changed his medication after all these years, and he's like Rip Van Winkle waking up when the medication changes, and he's trying to figure out why, and it calls for him to be sick. Well, Duval made himself sick, and he puked because he was supposed to puke. I mean, you could fake it, the whole shot. That's how deep he went with it, and because he carried it 100%, it carried it over into the rest of what his character was all about.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was exciting to work with that kind of commitment to it. And Pleasance was the same way, but the character didn't lend those little keys to kicking into a thing, so he would manufacture things that would keep him on top of it. And it was, phew, if you don't keep up with these guys, they're going to, you end up being a big spot on the screen, and that's about it.
So what would you say is your style?
Character. I'm a character.
I was thinking smart aleck.
Keeps them laughing, doesn't it?
Exactly, I love it.
No, that's what I went out for. I went out for character. I don't figure that I'm a pretty guy to be, leading man. I can be lead character because it's much more interesting, and it also gives you much more latitude to do things on film that the leading man or the leading lady wouldn't dare thinking about doing, because they're showing you my beauty. I'm leading man, and I do my shot, and each time, and you can always tell the camera's leading one way. But with a character actor, he scratches and I don't believe what you're talking about, And he's got latitude to bring real emotionals and reactions to a situation to film. And he's not constricted by being pretty all the time and doing the right thing and the right angles.
I think for a budget production you'd make a great James Bond, because James Bond is known for never having a hair out of place.
Yeah, right. But I'm not quite what you call a ladies' man either, where you can suave up to a lady. And
well, you were talking budget though. I said a budget James Bond.
I would make a much better villain, I think. I really do.
Well,
or a sidekick.
Yeah, Mr. Bean did the Johnny English character.
Mr. Bean, with the rolling bulbous eyes, yeah. Strange little English actor. Holy moly!
If he could do a James Bond character, you could do it.
Well, I could speak that way.
Bond.
Bond. James Bond. James Edward Bond. Edward?
Anyhow, I know you want to get you back to your hotel room soon, so I shouldn't distract you too much. But
I have a warm bed. No,
you're warm in bed, yes.
I'm a fool for this, so keep talking. Keep acting.
Okay. Seriously, I'm curious too. What advice would you give young actors, young actresses? Don't do it.
Smart ass.
You picked that up.
If you're going for it, you have to commit 110%. And that means learning all you can learn, read all the books you can read, see as much of other performers, start picking out those people that you really are excited by the work they do, because it moves you in one way or another. Practice. Don't be afraid of stepping outside your comfort zone, because then you're getting into the comfort zone of the character you're trying to create. An acting class early on that I had, they impressed me. They said, now when you come to acting class, you bring a whole lot of outside baggage with you. Do not bring that in here. Leave it outside by the door. Come in here with an open spirit to learn and fill it up with your craft and the things of your craft. And then when the class is over, pick your crap up and take it home.
Don't leave it here.
And it impressed me, because, you're inhibited by the surrounding and your environment. Whereas as an actor, you're taking on another person whose reaction to the life around them is not constricted by the same rules as your friends constrict you. So you have to find a whole new set of rules that this character is living in: the time, the space, the age, the color, the smell, the feel, the politics, these are part of the 6 questions that have to be asked and answered. Like, you're given a character. Okay, let's see. What year does this scene take place? 1925. Okay, how did the people dress in 1925? What did they eat? What was the politics of the time? What was the religion of the time and attitude toward religion? Was it a prosperous time in this area, which is Niles, Ohio? What were the influences on people and this character? See, all these questions have to be answered. And the key is 1925. What was happening in 1925? The religion, the politics, the energy, the government, all these things. And what was your own family like? And the script doesn't say whether, it may give one word and it says, my sister or my brother or my family. So it's up to you to fill that in. How many kids in my family? Was I one of 5 girls? Was I the first, the last, or the middle? Was my mother aggressive, my father passive? Was my father passive, my mother aggressive? All these things put together this thing called character, and then you put it on the screen, or on film, or in theater, convey that to your audience. But it's important. So that's my inspiration, is doing the work. I used to get my script, and almost the first place I go would be the library, and spend 2-3 hours in there. And I had a Portuguese character once. Well, I went to the library and I translated my entire script into Portuguese.
Oh, wow.
I tried to learn, the language, so that when I had to say the couple of lines in Portuguese, they sounded like I'm a Portuguese. Not an actor acting like he's saying words with a Portuguese accent. I want it deeper, I want it more real, more honest. That's what an awful lot of people said after seeing George Lucas' first movie, THX. And they were so impressed by Duval and Pleasance and myself. They said, how did you make it seem and sound and feel so real, so like right now? Like we're right in there with you, in your back pocket, going through all these things. I said, well, we all did a lot of sitting around and talking in background and telling George to get the heck out of the way. Because in his mind's eye, he had it all set that we were chess pieces that he moved around and then brought his camera wizardry in to make the whole, and Duval and Mr. Pleasant said, George, you can't do it that way. It's not going to work. And George, what do you mean it's not going to work? It's my film. No, George, these are real people caught in a place and time that they're trying to survive it. That's all they're trying to do. And that's what you have to capture. And that's what steps out to the audience. And George is, oh, goddamn actors, and he walked out of the room. But we won the case, because he could see that it was, what he wanted to do. He had it in his mind's eye from his education, and he still hadn't experienced the next level out. I don't know whether other actors will, but George has a hard time trying to direct actors. He's a technician, basically, well, and a writer, you know. But when actors come and they have real emotions and real feelings and joy and pain and all of these things, you notice most all of his movies kind of, that's way down the list of priorities, right? A lot of shock value, a lot of strange things happening, and even his strange characters, suddenly they have the emotions you're looking for, you know? Jabba the Hutt and the little Jedi, what's his name with the strange ears? Yoda, yeah. Even the Wookiees, they can't talk, but their gestures, even R2-D2, the thing goes, you know, not saying anything, but you understand what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And you feel for him.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.